Hello again. The play in London's West End starring Kit Harington, that's Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, for those of you that are fans of the television series, had a performance earlier this month when only black people were in the audience. This created apparently a safe space for them and enabled them to relax and enjoy themselves free of what has been described as the white gaze. If this sounds absurd, then you are probably a normal person. There is no conceivable reason why black people cannot go to the theatre just like everybody else in the country. After the production, of which only black audience members were present, one of them said in an interview, "It's not an exclusion thing, it's just that we don't get the same opportunities as white people." Do they not? What actually prevents black people from going to the theatre like everybody else? It's true that tickets can be a bit pricey, but then some people choose to pay to go to a play rather than, say, having trainers or a large plasma screen television. We are all free to spend our money how we please. There is no reason at all why black people cannot go to a theatre in London. I give a link in the description to this video to a news item about this foolishness. I also give a link to a YouTube video about the so-called Black Scottish Adventurers, who are a group of hikers run by a man called Enoch Adiyami, who is actually Yoruba rather than Scottish. I know that I've covered similar things before, but this group really is a bit special. The description to the YouTube video says that they are removing barriers for those who want to connect with nature. Again, those barriers, just like the ones that prevent black people from going to the theatre. Although, once more, we are not told what these actually are. Here's a question. Why do most people wish to connect with nature? What are they seeking when they go to mountains in Scotland or trek across Dartmoor or climb the Brecon Beacons in Wales and so on? What does connecting with nature entail? Well, as a fanatically dedicated walker and hiker, I can tell you now that one of the things I love about being up hills and mountains and in out-of-the-way places is the silence. If you want to connect with nature, you have to be quiet anyway, because otherwise you'll scare away any animals and birds in your path. Being on top of a mountain is a glorious feeling because it is so quiet, and sometimes you can hear the cry of the birds in the distance and the noise the wind makes as it moves through the heather. So that is connecting with nature. In the video shown in that link, and I show a photograph from the website for this group in the thumbnail to this video, we see between 50 and 100 black people travelling en masse up a small mountain. And then when they reach the top, they start singing, shouting and dancing. This is not really connected with nature at all. I'm bound to say that if I climbed a mountain and found that there were dozens of people at the top making a racket, I would be really irritated. Never mind the colour of their skin, it's simply not what people want to see when they're hiking in a national park. They're looking for peace and quiet and to connect with nature, not come across a group engaging in a sing-song or a dance routine. On the video is an interview with a girl who is a member of this group, and she explains why she likes these expeditions. At 2 minutes and 13 seconds into the video, she says that she feels that the peak of a mountain in Scotland is a good place to shout and sing. She actually says this, it's what attracts her to this group, that she can shout. I have never in my life met anybody who likes hiking and climbing mountains and who feels that this activity is enhanced by shouting. Or dancing, come to that. There is a disconnect here between what every white British person understands by the phrase connecting with nature and what members of the black Scottish adventurers mean by it. For white people, it means being quiet and enjoying the sounds of nature and observing the natural world. Bird watchers know this, and so do people who climb hills and mountains. Most white people climb mountains alone or in the company of just one or two people. For black hiking groups, though, the emphasis is on community activities, and in the case of this one, the focus is definitely on singing, dancing, and shouting. I have an idea that most white hikers would avoid these folks if they saw them coming, not as a result of racial prejudice, you understand, but because there are enough crowds of people and shouting in cities. We tend to go to the countryside to get away from that kind of thing.